5 seconds.
Hello and welcome to DreamLeague Season 13 closed qualifiers, where we are rapidly approaching the end of the line for the EU major qualifiers. And this is now a qualifier for a qualifier game. The bottom groups, of course, have to be knocked out. Meanwhile, the middle of the groups, they get to go through and face off in the minor qualifiers, which is the point we're at now. So Wind and Rain versus Singularity are battling it out in a best-of-3 series to find out who's going to be making it through to those minor qualifiers. The loser will not get to participate in any more qualifiers. They will miss out on this round of the DPC season, so a very important win here for both of these teams. My name is Nomad, and joining me is Saberlight to bring you through the action. Saberlight, how's it going, man?
Good. Hello, everyone. It's a joy joining you here.
Beautiful. So, you obviously you played with Team Singularity for a little bit at the start of the season, or at the end of last season, right?
At the start of this season.
The start of this season, right. And then jumped over to Chaos, and now kind of in limbo a little bit, right?
Now I'm with Soneko, Milan, and Supreme Little Pleb. That's our roster at the moment. But yeah, I played the first qualifier with Singularity.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then a couple of months of Chaos and well, Quincy Crew, then Chaos, and now here we are. So with the Chicken Fighters. All right. So based on these two teams and what you generally know about them, like who are you kind of favoring straight off the bat?
Well, I'm favoring Singularity first of all because my youth DNZ and Excalibur are there. Those are my buddies, so I'm hoping for them to win. But obviously, I'm not gonna be biased or anything.
Okay.
But I also think Team Singularity is like a better team because I don't know. Wind and Rain, I actually don't understand how are they so good because I remember last season when I was playing in Hippomaniacs, we were beating them pretty easily. That might have been a different squad. I don't remember, but I always thought that Wind and Rain is not that good of a team. But lately they're owning at the ESL Hamburg. They even ended up better than Chaos, and now they're in the qualifier. So I'm looking forward to see them play.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see Wind and Rain play. Can they pull out that magic which they managed to find for ESL Hamburg? That's going to be the question, but they will need to get it here if they want to get to that minor. Yeah, Team Singularity. You know, if you want, you can be a little bit biased in the casting if you want to. You know, we won't mind, I'm sure. Also, you know, just saying that this one is live as well. There's no delay on this cast. We're casting from Dota TV, so we can say hello to the chat. If anybody wants to contribute, join in, then we will be reading the chat as we go. Or I will anyway. You might be a bit more focused on the game than me, but we have got some heroes picked up. With every game, there must be heroes, and with heroes, there must be a draft. And so far, we have a Crystal Maiden, Shadow Fiend, and Weaver picked up by Wind and Rain. So it seems like they're kind of going in for this anti-armor a little bit here with the presence of the Dark Lord and the Swarm. Meanwhile, Team Singularity, we've got Sven, Dazzle, Templar Assassin, and Rubik picked up from them. So no real kind of big synergies. Also, I guess a little bit of anti-armor from them as well with the Mount Strike and the Dazzle Ultimate Bad Juju coming up a little bit. Big question, are we going to see Sven Eggs?
5 seconds remaining.
I'm not sure. We might. It's pretty interesting that SNG first picks Sven. I know this is a Excalibur hero and that guy is owning with it. I think they even won some games in the qualifier with it. So we'll see how Excalibur does. But first picking your carry and picking your mid as third pick is pretty interesting.
Big flex. Yeah,
exactly.
Both teams throwing it down on one another here, trying to get the mental game one out. I think this doesn't particularly seem... it's a pretty good Rubik game, I guess. Every time there's a Weaver, it automatically turns into a good Rubik game.
That's true. Also, the Beastmaster, that's an interesting pick. I think Sven is alright against Beast, so we'll see how that lane goes. But I think... I mean, it depends on what position 4 Wind and Rain picks, but I think, like, Sven Dazzle is a really strong lane.
Sven, yeah, it does seem like a good one. A lot of right-click damage coming out from that Sven, Dazzle allowing him to get it off with that poison touch.
10 seconds remaining.
At the same time, CM Weaver has had a lot of success in other games as well, if that's the lane they're going to run with that, which looks likely right now. That's been a. I mean, it's a very squishy lane as well, though, right? So, like, you can either find yourself getting loads of kills, or you can find yourself getting loads of kills, but also dying a lot as well. That seems to be what's happened. I think that's what happened kind of in Liquid versus Alliance. They had a CM Weaver lane, and it was very violent up there. But every time you overextend a little bit too far, you get punished pretty quickly as well. So, it's an entertaining lane, which is what we want. Both teams dipping into their reserve time a little bit. This Beastmaster hero seems really strong. Some teams have been first picking it. It just kind of makes Roshan feel like toilet paper, which with a Shadow Fiend and the Weaver is going to be doubly as true this time around. So I'm very nervous for Roshan in this game, especially when you got TA on the other team as well.
I mean, Beastmaster is such a good hero because of how Dota is played right now. It's because like with this hero, you can take objectives and towers mainly, and then it's once you take enemy towers, then it's much easier to get outposts and like control the map. So this hero is really strong, like mainly because of how the patch is played, not really because like the hero got buffed or anything.
Yeah.
Slark. Interesting. I feel like Vin and Rain don't have that much catch. They have CM slows, they have Beastmaster ulti. That's kinda it. They have pounce as well. So I think this might be a slight issue in the game.
Yeah, is there any pick they can take in the offlane position which is going to make up for their lack of lockdown that they've got so far?
They'll probably want something which beats Lark in lane. Just looking what heroes are in the pool. Not sure.
Nightstalker could be a potential. I mean, he doesn't beat Slark in lane, but he can offer a lot throughout the mid game for that AoE silence.
True. I think they need something that's not that greedy, because they already have Swan and TA.
Yeah.
And I mean, Puck would have been great if it stayed in pool, but
Puck feels like he's going to be great in most games right now. To be fair,
that's true.
He's in a weird place. "17 seconds left. Team Singularity got to really think about this one. Are they going to be greedy, or are they going to keep it sane to the ground? I mean, we could see something slightly off the wall. I mean, maybe something like the Ogre off lane, but just to try and get some pressure out. But again, it just feels.
I think it's going to be Centaur, right? No, Slardar.
Slardar. Okay, similar thing. You know, they've got an AoE stun on the floor. It's close enough, but you can stun Slark inside that ultimate, which is really nice to have on your team when you're playing up against him. You feel the benefit of that a lot. Meanwhile, the side of Wind and Rain, they've got that Slark last pick, and with the Weaver, there's so much mobility on this team. The thing, where is this offlane or 4 position Weaver? Oh yeah, it's 4 position Weaver. Interesting.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it never occurred to me there. We had Weaver and Slark, and I was just like, yeah, they've got 2 carries. Oh, wait a minute, they've got 2 carries. What's going on here? But Nico is going to play it, so looking for that Aghanim's rush, I suppose.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. I'm also interested in how Team SNG are gonna play, because they made some roster changes. They replaced me and they replaced Vexu and also Mage. So this is a new squad, and I didn't watch many of their games. I only watched like few parts. So I'm interested in what DNZ has in store for us.
Yeah, quite the strategist himself. I know Kitspel rates his strategies very highly as well. So plenty of pocket strats in DNZ, and also great calls in across the game as well. I think he's one of the key ingredients of this team Singularity and lineup here, and he's going to be trying to bring them all together. But Zitrax as well, you know, he was actually doing the drafting this game, so he's also going to be having a bit of a say in what's going on. Who do you think is going to be doing the shot calling in this match?
That's interesting. I mean, that's really interesting that Zitrax was drafting. I'm not sure why, because I would expect either DNZ or Excalibur to draft. When I was playing there, I mean, most of the calls were made. I mean, everyone was making calls, but I would expect Excalibur and DNZ to make most of them, just from like how they are as people.
Yeah. Okay, all right, that's very interesting. So Excalibur, the big call maker, along with DNZ, but also with the extra eyes and brain of DNZ in this. Oh no, sorry, off Zitrax in this as well, as he's heading up towards the top lane on that Sven. Let's get into it. Game number 1 in this best of 3 series between Wind and Rain and Singularity as Boogie and Nikwa make their way up to kind of contest this rune here. They're going to come and gather on the high ground, DNZ and Zitrex. So, in this lane, Beastmaster and Weaver, I don't really know what to make of it.
Beastmaster,
30
Weaver.
seconds to battle.
I think they'll just hit them. I mean, that's how most Beastmaster lanes are. That you basically hit them with the boars, you outlasted them because you have 70 damage, which is insanely lot. And Weaver's just gonna hit them with Blightstone. Shukuchi into them from time to time.
Yeah. It's going to be quite annoying to deal with. And Zitrex positioned behind a tree here, so he's actually out of sight a little bit there. But now they see him, and the right click start to come in. The balls as well, slowing down the spend. But they're giving up this bouncy rune in order to go for the top one. Meanwhile, Nico looking for the harass onto DNZ, chasing him all the way back to tower. And that's some really strong. Even eating the tree there for the extra right click. That is some efficiency from Nico. Meanwhile, down the bottom lane, 1 bounty rune each. It's all equal.
I also like how they already have the sentry set up top. Because if you take a look at the XP, both Dazzle and Sven already have like quarter of a level almost, just from the one hawk.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of vision on this lane.
Yeah, and like, this sentry is really good because hawk gives a ton of XP, so just killing it once or twice is going to help you a lot. Plus, Beastmaster is not able to block the small camp right now.
Yeah, really important to be able to get off those pulls. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, we got Excalibur versus Wish, the TA versus Shadow Fiend matchup. And this one, I feel like, is pretty favored for the TA, especially when you've got Excalibur on that TA.
It depends. That's a classic matchup right there. So I think this matchup is like really skill based.
We'll see how Excalibur goes and how much he can do, but I mean, Wish is really important in this level 1. I was about to make the point that he wants to try and get these raises off whilst being able to secure CS as well, and preferably damage on Excalibur before he's got the points in Refraction up, because it can be very difficult for a Shadow Fiend to be able to take those Refraction points off. But if you ever catch that TA with her pants down, then it can be very easy for you to use these raises just to get a cheeky kill, because she does not have a big health pool. And even now, Wish still chasing. He's going to get another raise off here. I mean, that's a 4 stack. Oh, and now the ranged one as well. Wish! Jesus, he plays that beautifully. Level 1 kill, doing exactly what was needed, and this just took a really bad turn for Excalibur. I mean, admittedly, Wish is now low on HP and mana, but damn, that was something else.
That was really good. Wish. I mean, taking raises level 1 is kind of weird, but if you manage to get a kill from it, or like win the first 2 waves just by having raises, it's certainly worth it. And he did so. Good for him.
Yeah, it's definitely doesn't look weird when that happens. Meanwhile, down in this bottom lane, we got Hester Joe and Ein versus Nefrit and Yol, as they all battle it up in the pretty brawly lane, I would say. Crystal Maiden and Slark definitely looking to fight up, get a kill onto this Rubik if he overextends, but there's also a lot of lockdown on the side of Singularity for this one, so if anybody gets out of position, then they will be punished for it, especially with this level 2, as Rubik can now level up Lift and offer a little bit more lockdown, a little bit of repositioning as well, very important in the laning phase, and you're going to get them in range very easily for a Slithering Crush and a Bash in the Deep, so...
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, that's weird. No Bash of the Deep replied on Denies as well. That's kind of annoying, actually.
It procs on Denies as well?
Yeah, just noticed that. I don't know why you don't want that.
I mean, you can use it to deny creeps, which you wouldn't otherwise. Oh,
yeah,
I think it's actually better that it procs than if it didn't.
Oh, okay. I guess being able to build the procs off your denies is pretty useful as well. Just gives you a little bit more control over when you can get it off.
Well, I don't think you can build them up.
Oh, you can't build them in just procs, okay.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. They're already winning the last battle by a lot.
Yeah, despite Wish's kill in mid, he's still a little bit behind, 7-3 to the 12-2. He's going to try and go for... No, I was going to say I was going to go for a bit of aggression here again, but with those refraction charges off, very hard for Wish to get through those. He doesn't really have any way to do it other than a couple of raids and right clicks. Oh, and he loses the CS to the tower as well. Doesn't feel fantastic. So things have slowed down a little bit. You know, since our first blood, these side lanes are actually much more peaceful than I expected them to be. I'm wondering if there's going to be a change in tempo at any stage. I mean, I said bottom lane's going to be a brawl, and they have been fighting up a lot. A lot of regen's been ferried out to this bottom lane, but no kill potential just yet.
I think this is really good for SNG, because Wind and Rain, they need to make things happen with Beastmaster and for position for Weaver. If like the game is even at like 15 minutes, it's extremely good for SNG.
Yeah, a bit of a slower draft from them as DNZ taking some hits here from Neek, where he's got the Sakuchi, but he's going to move over towards Boogie instead and stuns out onto Zitrax. Can they bring him down? No, they can't. The slow's not quite enough just yet. Need a little bit more in the bank. That's the problem with this lane. They've got a lot of damage, but they don't have a lot of lockdown, a lot of control. Oh, meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, they bring down Hestijo, the Slardar, getting killed off.
If I was playing an SNG, I wouldn't die like this. Just saying.
I knew it was going to come out, but, you know, within the first 5 minutes, I'm impressed.
Oh, no. He got outplayed.
Yol trying to play around the trees, and it looks like I'm just about going to survive this one. What was it, Yol who made the play with the branch?
Yeah, he was chasing. Ein was chasing him under T1, and he blocked the path with branch and survived thanks to it.
Damn, sad we missed that one. But either way, 3 bounty runes go in the way of Singularity, 1 more available at top, which Wind and Rain should be able to secure, you would hope. Meanwhile, the Weaves actually gets run down, though, by DNZ. Grabs himself a cheeky kill there, using that poison touch to seal the deal onto the Wind and Rain floor.
No, they're gonna shrine. It's efficiency right there.
Careful, careful. Pretty low on Zitrax, but he knows what he's up to. He knows what he's doing. Chainmail and ring of protection, giving him plenty of armor to play around with. Everybody seems to be having this sound bug today. I haven't had it, but people keep on pausing and leaving in almost every game about the sound bug. Whatever that is.
How is the bounty status? SNG got 2.
Yeah, Wind and Rain are leaving 1. I think SNG got... They get 2.
Oh, they got 3.
Yeah, it was 3.
3.
Wind and Rain are leaving theirs to age, though, so it's going to be extra value. Risky move, though. To be fair, we did have a game where someone forgot about those, and the level 5 bounty rune didn't go to anybody, as Yor gets brought down in the bottom lane. My bad, my bad. I'm too relaxed, you know. I need to get in the zone, hype things up a bit, you know. Find these kills, keep an eye on the map.
Yeah. I mean, the new bounty runes, they're... it's kind of weird that they're like at the edge of the map. You don't really want to go there because like it's really far from everything else. That's why I feel like bounties are a bit less desirable than they were in the last patch. Oh, there you go.
Oh, had to joke. Yeah, could be in some... Well, it's actually the Slark who's in some trouble as he's being lifted up, thrown back, and another bash to the deep. Does manage to purge it off. He's trying to fight into Hestijo here. That's not going to happen, but couldn't get away either, so might as well go for the kill. But Yo will cancel out that south. He's looking for the kill as well, and he's going to be able to find it here. The Crystal Maiden comes charging into the bottom lane and picks off Hestijo.
Bit greedy with the salve usage.
Yeah,
but they got the Slark kill.
It's big. It's really big, actually. Wind and Rain, they need the Slark to do well. But Shadow Fiend, also going to be an important factor of their draft. He's managed to do a pretty damn good job in this middle lane after that initial opening kill, just putting him in a position to basically survive through the first few levels, and then now he can just take control, play around the runes, and jungle very efficiently as well.
Radiant also got the tier 1 top, which is pretty huge at 7 minutes, because Beastmaster can now farm the Dar jungle. Finish his Dominator, which is, by the way, insanely good item on Beastmaster. I like that he's rushing it on Boogie.
Yeah, the extra stats it gives down to your creeps and everything. Or is it like extra damage?
Yeah, it gives 20% damage and I think some health regen, but it works 50% better on your creeps. So to your creeps, it gives 30%.
Those balls going to be hitting pretty damn hard. Meanwhile, Iron's in some trouble as a double raise comes through and secures the kill onto the Rubik. That was pretty easily done by Wind and Rain. Just using that haste rune onto the Shadow Fiend to grab himself another kill here. I'm a little bit concerned. This Shadow Fiend is now going through their jungle, stealing all of the stacks which have been made. That never feels good.
Yeah, this is extremely good. What Win and Rain are doing is exactly what they should be doing. Taking a map away from Dire, so they cannot farm. Because as long as T and Sven have creeps that they can hit, they're happy. But the moment that they just need to like stand around and wait for camps to spawn, that it starts to get a bit rough.
Dire's middle
Look at
tower
Excalibur
is under
positioned
attack.
so far back. For that clarity, they're actually looking to defend this tier 1 tower. I mean, Wind and Rain are just putting on the pressure right now, and look at the damage they're doing to this tower. They're taking chunks out of it. They didn't have any creeps. They're being run around the tower by Iron right now.
Yeah. Dire don't have much of an outpush. They have Fate Bolt, which is really good, but it's their own spell.
Wish just munching on every single creep wave that comes towards this middle lane. Excalibur doing his best to pull the creeps across and grab himself some CS. Muchly needed. Meanwhile, down at bottom, Nefrit enjoying a bit of space he's been given as his two other laners have just been blasted ahead and forcing all the Singularity to respond to their movements across the map. But they're going to go and invade their own jungle right now, and then comes the amplified damage, throws down the roar on Boogie, just trying to give himself an out here, and he will be able to run away from this. So a very little commitment from SMG, and they're actually going to be able to grab a Helm of the Dominator creep as well, which is going to be 200 gold into the pocket of the Templar Assassin, which is pretty nice. But yeah, she's a little bit further behind than you'd like.
Dire's middle tower is under
Yeah.
attack.
What's the neutral item status? Radiant have Elixir and Poor Man's Shield.
Yeah, Paul
Is
mentioned
that it?
and Arcane Ring as well.
Oh,
Meanwhile, they've left the Keen Optic on the ground on the side of Singularity. Not too sure about that. Is it in Vision? Yeah, it's in their vision, so they should know it's here. No one's done
Where
pick it
is
up just
it?
yet.
Dire's
It's
Oh,
over by the
okay.
TA's medium
see.
camp. Yeah.
it's really good on Rubik. Even on Dazzle, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, the extra cast range, everything is just get that cast range going on lift. Instant stun. Beautiful versus heroes like the Weaver.
Radiant just got both outposts. That's kind of rough for Dire.
Yeah, y'all making a movement down at bottom, and that's going to cost them big time. Meanwhile, now Talon picked up from the Sven. Definitely not a bad item for him. Help him farm up a little bit faster in the jungle.
Oh, that's really good.
Although he just dumps the... okay, Curry picks it up. I was going to say, if he just dumps the Cunning Blade on the floor, I'm done with that. Don't need it anymore.
I'm not sure, but I
Radiant's bottom
feel
tower
like
is
Iron
under
Talon
attack.
and Quelling Blade stuck. But probably not. I'm sure Zitrax knows better than me.
A lot of faith. Meanwhile, Iron getting chased out as they're using the vision from this Hawk just to push back on this mid tower with absolute
Dire's
safety.
middle tower is under attack.
This is the thing, right? Beastmaster is such a tower pushing machine because he got the inner beast for the extra attack speed, and then he's got a Hawk just to make sure that you're nice and safe whilst you do it. Really good hero for this sort of thing, and they're just abusing that on Wind and Rain right now. Singularity struggling to deal with it, and now going to be losing their middle tier 1 tower, which not only opens up the map, but Singularity, and he's going to be dropped really quickly here, and Nico just finding that little kill on the sidelines there, Yol with the slows, and it makes... I don't know. I'm not really too sure what Singularity are doing right now. It feels like they don't have much of an aim.
They're just trying to farm up on Sven and on TA. That's probably what they need to do.
Structures are
Get
fortified.
these two cores farmed, and the other
Dire's
three heroes should
bottom tower
just
is
like
under
slow
attack.
down the push as long as they can, especially Rubik.
Dire's bottom tower has
Nico
fallen.
goes and recaptures that outpost down at bottom whilst the tier 1
Radiant's
tower
middle
falls,
tower
and
is
now you got to start
under
looking at tier 2s. This becomes a little bit harder. Tier 1s, you know, that's easy mode. We're taking a step into hard mode now for Wind and Rain. Singularity definitely have much better options when it comes to defending tier 2s than they do tier 1s. You know, you want to defend these tier 1s, and you got to be on the floor. You got to be, you know, in the trees nearby with very easy access options. You can defend tier 2s from much wider angles. You know, you can be up here, you can be up on any high ground basically, and you got much more trees to jump into as well. So
They're Griefs on SF right now, so I don't think Radiant is losing fight with the items they have.
No, not for a long time. It's just going to be a case of outpacing and outmaneuvering Wind and Rain across the map here, which is
Top.
not going to be easy. Yeah, they're going to Zitrax right now, but the stun onto the creep going to hold Nefrit back for a little bit longer, but Yol's on top of him. Zitrax should be losing his life right now as Nefrit will run him down. Rubik tries to save the day, but unfortunately Zitrax will lose his life to this ganking duo.
This is huge. This is a huge kill. Yeah. They might even get a rush from this if they want. Which doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, Boogie's just taking the neutrals, which... If there are items up, I kind of understand, but I don't think they've got any items left to find, so...
They're going rush.
Yeah, there we go. That's it. Just waiting for his team to get over to this Roshan and get started on him. And look at the armor on this poor man. -5, -6, -7. What's the, yeah, -4 from Presence of the Dark Lord as well. Roshan falling very, very quickly indeed. And we'll give that one to Wish. I'm a little bit concerned.
Me too. They need, I don't know, they need Deso on TA, they need some item on Sven. He's going BKB, so once he gets BKB it might get a bit better. But most of all, they need Crimson on Hestejo. And he's pretty far from it.
Yeah, 1.1k in the bank. The fact that he hasn't got it queued up kind of makes me worried that he's thinking of a Blink instead.
I mean, Blink is alright. Because they also don't have initiation.
Yeah.
But top.
Oh, the roar comes out with the ultimate from Wish as well, turning it around. Hestejo walks into the fight and immediately blown up. Excalibur trying to play around that creep, use this Fire Blaze, but unfortunately he's just going to give his life here. I mean, the Grave's going to come out onto Excalibur. He's trying to go for the TP. Is it going to make it out? Just about does. Doesn't die in base either, which feels pretty good. Excalibur just about surviving with a nig of HP there, but still, they bring down 2 heroes on Singularity. And now looking towards this tier 2, and Wind and Rain just aren't touched. You know, they go for these engagements and Singularity just melt to them. And Wind and Rain.
What the Grave though. Yeah, I don't think Dark can fight like anytime soon. So it's this game right now is only about if Radiant can exert their pressure correctly.
Take that.
A long, long way to go for Singularity to get back into this game, but they are going to need those items. TA doesn't even... This is a Desolator, I think, coming out to on the courier. I would hope. Maybe it is a courier. Oh, there it is. Wait, is that... Oh, I was looking at the wrong side. Okay, there we go. Anyway, Ein gets blown up by Nefrit. Nefrit grabbing himself another kill. That 3 permanent agi. Goodness. Terrifying. Wish. He's just taking tanking hits from the tower. Doesn't even care. Creep's gonna go down.
Going Vlad's on Slardar, which is okay in the sense that it gives armor, which Dire need. And it's cheaper than Crimson, but I don't think it's gonna save them the game.
No, you need a bigger timing to work around than this, but I think they're just realizing that they're gonna be coming high ground. And you need something on this Slardar. You need a way to just increase your team's power a little bit. Wish does get dragged in a bit here, but they've got plenty of heals to throw out onto him, and he's got an Aegis as well, so really still not feeling threatened yet from Wind and Rain. And they'll continue moving across the map, going one more tier 2 to fall. The last of the outer towers sitting here looking very, very tasty, and Wind and Rain, they're going to pull out the knife and fork and get tucked in to the tier 2 at mid. Boogie and Wish, tower to tower, A to Z, Dota 2.
I like what Excalibur is doing. This is exactly what he should be doing. Or, I mean Zitrax, sorry. On Sven. But he needs to farm creeps and not get picked off. That's basically all he can do right now. But there's Blink coming on Boogie, which is pretty good. I like that item. Because it enables them to pick off anyone.
So much gold for this Radiant team right now. 10k gold advantage almost. Sven looking towards BKB. He's about 1,400 gold off it. A long, long way away. But not completely out of the question. Might have it before they go for this high ground push, which would certainly give them something. Slardar now finished this Vlad's. Not much, but might give him something. Meanwhile, Nefrit's actually farming Ancients while the rest of the team's going top. They're really trying to break high ground with 4 heroes right now.
I mean, there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, that's just pure confidence. Excalibur taking some hits, and now comes a roar as Boogie blinking up onto the high ground. That's the blink reveal they're looking for. TA eventually will be able to get away, but unfortunately she's under so much damage. Going to go for the TP out and will be able to make it into the base, but dies in the base anyway. That's pretty sad. Excalibur getting dropped despite a nicely timed TP, but sometimes that damage just follows you. Meanwhile, Wish getting really low here, but still holding on to that Aegis. And might I remind you, Nefrit, he's just farming up at bottom, not even with his team right now. They don't break high ground, but they didn't really need to. Nefrit getting some damage onto the tier 3s, and he's getting a lot of damage up onto this tier 3, actually.
Oh, this is really good. They can't defend both lanes.
Yeah, going for the dual push that once. Singularity feels like they need to commit to something here, and Zitrax, meanwhile, he's actually popped ultimate to farm creeps. That's how insistent he is that there's no possible way they can actually defend this. He's going to hit some creeps behind the tower and continue trying to split some waves, make some kind of space for his team. Nefrit, he is hunting, he's got the defusal, so could easily bring the Sven down if he found him, but isn't able to do so.
Oh, they have BKB on Sven. I'm not sure if they can do anything with it, but they might.
Yep, they might. There's an opportunity. Maybe just smoke out and go, see if you can grab something. But the thing is, the initiation is so lacking on the side of Singularity. They didn't go for this blink on the Slardart. They went for the Vlads instead. I guess you're relying on your Rubik's Lift. He's got that extra cast range from Keen Optic and the extra vision from the Vampire Fangs. And it is now nighttime, so maybe they can make some use out of this one. Nefrit could be an amazing target here. They see him. They need the lift. They get it. Throwing him back into Hester. Well, they'd actually throw him back here, which might be a mistake. He's managed to get the ultimate off. Meanwhile, the TPs are coming in over towards the outpost, and it looks like they're bailing on this one. Hester's going to accept his fate, but I'm not sure Excalibur's getting out of this one. She's getting chunked down here, going for the TP, but the damage is way too much with the leash as well. That's going to cancel out the TP. Both Boogie's going to fall. Excalibur's going to drop as well. And Wind and Rain taking another huge fight here. I mean, I'm not actually sure what killed off the...
I mean, if you look at the fight recap, they basically got the same amount of gold as Radiant. Just for killing the Beastmaster.
Yeah,
but they're so behind.
That's pretty sad, but there you go. Slardar getting some much needed farm though. As you say, Crimson Guard or Blink Dagger could make a whole world of difference to the way that Singularity played this game. It's kind of that comeback condition, I feel. Well, TA actually just going straight in for a BKB, not even bothering with the blink herself.
Yeah, the thing about BKB this game is that I don't think it's gonna be that big of a difference. Because like Radiant, they have a ton of physical damage as well. So BKB doesn't bother them that much. They also have Roar, so they have something to break the BKB. Like, BKB in fights help you only with SF ulti, that he cannot raise you, and CM doesn't do anything. But I feel like Radiant, they already have so much stuff that I don't think BKB can save you. But we'll see. Yeah, maybe it can.
A little bit of over-reliance maybe, or... I'm not too sure, to be honest. Outpost taken back from Singularity though as they try to wrest control the bottom side of the map, but meanwhile Nefrit just taken to the high ground once again, trying to chunk away at these tier 3 towers. And this is going to force a 3-man TP back by Singularity. Meanwhile, the other two heroes, they could be in some trouble now as Boogie blinks forwards. Excalibur's on the run. They have the pigeon. They see Excalibur's movements. Hester Joe as well, also being spotted out here, but he's a little bit of a trickier target. They won't get either of them, though. Singularity get the safe back. And DNZ's even going for a bit of dewarding as well with the very small space again. Nefrit, though, coming in, and Nefrit's all by himself here, but DNZ didn't really feel the need to go for that kill, so he tells the team to back, so Drax will chill out a little bit. Lines drawn, bottom lane. That's the line drawn from Boogie, interestingly, so he's saying that Singularity are just going to be coming down this lane at me right now.
Yeah, they don't really have anywhere else to play. They have
Lift
one
up
ward
onto Weaver. Do they have the lockdown for him? They're going to get the stun out from the Sven. A little bit more damage will be needed. No, he gets the time lapse off. That is so costly. Now the damage starts coming through onto the Sven. He doesn't have the BKB. Sorry, he does have the BKB, but I mean, it's not going to make a difference. Can't TP, can't survive, can't do anything. Sven is going to die for the kill onto the Weaver, which didn't even happen. A last second time lapse out there. My goodness.
This is rough.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Almost feels like Singularity are missing something, you know, Saber Light. It's just a piece of their team which was taken away and hasn't come back.
I completely agree. I mean, I can't really put my finger on it, but like, I would say that there was, I don't know, something which made them so much better.
Yeah, which is now gone. It's a weird feeling, in fact. There we go. Roshan, meanwhile, he's getting his health taken away very quickly. Does Roshan need a buff?
Maybe. I mean, depends. These guys, they have a pretty good Roche lineup, so
Yeah, these guys
why
are
it feels so
weak.
weak.
A lot of anti-armor makes Roche a very easy kill, but I just feel in general, we've even seen some teams with terrible Roche lineups just take him down at like the 20-minute mark anyways. It's
I mean, it's true. With the introduction of the jungle items, it's much easier to take Roche. So maybe he needs a bit of a buff. I'm not sure where the mistake happened this game for SNG. I feel like it's probably just the draft, just the Beastmaster
Radiant's top tower is
Yeah,
taking
this-
away their towers. Because I don't think they like played bad or anything.
yeah, maybe an over-reliance on the Sven to deal. Oh, Roar to the high ground. Excalibur caught out of position here, but the Ethereal Blade, the 4-staff away. They're going to try and kill off his bug as well. Can they help Excalibur survive this one? They can, just about. Excalibur will live, and they can
Nice,
continue to try and hold this, but still, I mean, such a huge effort, a monumental effort to keep this TA alive. It is now the Roar going down. Maybe, just maybe, Singularity might find a way to start a fight here, and I'm flying forward.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Sakuchi lifting up onto CM. CM will be a good target right now. Storm comes out from Hesijo, but Yol has himself the Ghost Scepter and just survives through the whole damn thing, and Hesijo goes down just like that. BKB's popped the ulti from Sven as well. They're trying to bring down the Crystal Maiden, but she's so damn tanky with all this armor, she's just gonna live. Yol will finally disappear, but Neferit's on the rampage. He's managed to kill off the Rubik. Looking for his next hero right now. Meanwhile, Singularity, they buy back on the Rubik and try to re-engage here, and all the time lapse. He has Yaghanim's on the Weaver. They keep Wish alive. They thought they had him, but he just moves him back slightly, and that's just going to ruin the gank. And now Hesijo forced. I think that was actually by his teammate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit awkward. He turned around just the wrong point. Wish also getting low, but once again gets himself time-lapse back. Neferit just going absolutely berserk right now. 33 Agi on this man, and the GG is called. We'll be going to game 2, game number 1. A bit of a disaster for Singularity.
Dire's middle barracks has
It was a rough game.
Certainly was. Unable to find a purchase, unable to find a way to just stop Wind and Rain running down their lanes, taking all of their buildings, taking their towers and all their creeps, and eventually their Ancient goes down as well. So that's going to be Wind and Rain taking game number 1 in a very convincing fashion. Not sure how much more there is to say about that game, other than make sure you bring some kind of wave control, some D-push, something like that to your draft. Otherwise, you will find this happening to you. Rubik was not enough.
Yeah, that's true. If they had actually one more hero with D-push, the game would be much easier for them. Or like overall, if they had a bit less greedy lineup, I think would help.
Yeah, a hero which can play with just maybe like one item rather than needing the TA to get her Desolator and then her Blink and then her BKB. In the end, she didn't even have her Blink. Definitely felt very underwhelming from this TA. 0 and 4 due to that kind of bit of a shutdown in lane. I mean, it wasn't too bad in lane. If we look at kind of like the 8-minute mark, the TA is just like a little bit... Okay, she's very substantially behind the Shadow Fiend. Never mind.
Yeah. But I don't know. Overall, they just need a hero that has spells. Because DA doesn't...
Yeah.
The hero doesn't really have spells. Slardar as well, and Sven as well. These 3 heroes are absolutely useless without items. So if they had, I don't know, like Pugna or Viper or something like that mid, maybe it would have been easier because they have actually like tools to play Dota with.
Yeah, exactly. A way to play the game would be very nice for Singularity, as they just didn't get a look in this first game in this best of 3 series. But it is a best of 3, still another opportunity for them to come back into this one and bring a fight to Wind of Rain. I hope they do. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to be back with game number 2 of Wind and Rain versus Team Singularity here at the DreamLeague Season 13 Closed EU Qualifiers. These teams battle out for their spot in the minor qualifiers.